Hey, everybody. Hey, Lisa.
Hey everybody. Hey Tammy, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. Looks like we've got Ada Near here. Thank you so much for joining us. Broke Cowgirl Homestead. Hey there, Gwen. Suburban Hillbilly. So good to see you. Hope
Hey
y'all are having a
everybody.
great day. Hope I didn't scare anybody away with my thumbnail. Procrastinators, welcome. This is about all of us that could possibly at any moment in time fit into that category.
We're embracing you all.
Embracing it. Yes. And thank you all for hitting the thumbs up on your way in, too. I really appreciate that. Hey, the Rambling Peach. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you. I'm like trying to I don't know if my notification went out yet.
Yep, just went out.
Okay,
Hey
awesome.
Kathleen. Hey Kelsey, right? Lantern Creek Farm.
Yep, that's Kelsey. Good to see you, Kelsey. Hey, Kathleen, my Alabama farm life. Thank you all so much for coming. Did you see this?
I know.
Procrastinators unite.
We are embracing you all as you are.
That's right. Gotta own it, work with it. Own it and work with it.
That's it. Hello, Blue.
Hi, Blue, Blue Self Reliance. Good to see you. Thank you all for coming. Yep.
We I have to share this because this is ridiculous. We are looking at a frost for tonight.
Are you really? Oh my gosh. That's even after your last frost date, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
We're
word.
looking at 36 degrees or
Wow.
less. So,
Yikes.
Kenzie, sorry, Kenzie.
Oh, yeah. Whoops a daisy. We were close. Hey, Kenzie. Hey, Teresa Jukowicz.
Hey,
Good to see
Teresa.
you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome to the mountains
Yep.
of high elevation.
Yep.
I guess it snowed in Wyoming yesterday. I know there was a frost in Montana.
Wow.
A lot of people lost their gardens. I'm so
Oh,
mad.
no. Oh, no.
So I got to find stuff to,
To cover them with?
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I've never had to do this now, this late.
Yeah. When they're so big. Like, there's the
Yeah,
challenge, right?
I know. And I don't even think I have enough to cover like square footage wise.
Uh huh. Yikes.
So mad.
Mm hmm.
I got time for this garbage.
I
I
know.
got need to procrastinate.
Yeah, I know it. Well, that's when you have a deadline coming right up on you. And you choose to lose or you choose to try to win something, right?
Yeah. It's just like, geez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. That is wild.
Hi, Tuck by V. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, and it's you know, I feel like summer gardening is hard. Like in the spring, you're getting things ready, you're having to work on your garden beds, and it's more physically exhausting, I think, because you have the excitement of what am I going to grow? What am I going to plant? But in the summertime, you've got the heat. The heat out there is just horrible. And then you got frost at nighttime like you guys have. That's just and your
Yeah.
plants are tall. I think that's what makes it really hard is you get taller plants.
Yeah. And like Blue said, it's like they're so wet, they have standing water.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
been dry. A farm north of us got 2.65 inches of rain, and we got nothing.
Yeah. Does everyone else see us? I think it might be on your side, Gwen.
Hey, Heather.
Mm-hmm. Got to get out early. I think last week we were talking about watering the garden and when everybody waters. And I told my husband this morning, I said, I think we need to start watering in the morning, or at least starting to water in the morning and getting what we can get done before we have other things that we have to do. And then water again at night if we missed anything. But geez, yeah, because it takes so long to water that it kind of messes up our dinner time too.
Yep.
And if we eat dinner first, then we're dealing with some mosquitoes out there.
Oh,
Oh, that is not fun, the Rambling Peach. I'm so sorry.
yeah, that is. I'd be wilted.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Also below 15 Celsius most days and as low as 6 Celsius at night. Hopefully, it's like how it normally is. It'll stop. Yeah, it'll stop July. Thank you, Aideneer.
Oh, I was gonna say, Gwen, restart YouTube.
She might not hear us. She said she doesn't hear.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I did that. Oh, now I got it. I had to refresh.
Oh, okay. Running in the high 90s. We've been running in the low 90s, Kenzie, and yeah, we're feeling it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm still trying to acclimate to the heat from being in northern Arizona because in
Yeah,
northern Arizona, like the hottest you would get is low 90s. We did get low 90s, and in northern Arizona, nobody has air conditioning units because you just don't need them.
right.
But quite different from central to southern Arizona for sure. But yeah, I'm still getting acclimated. I like to sleep at 65 degrees, and it's just not happening now. Okay,
We
so
we are at 52. It feels like 48, hence the hoodie. It's going to be a cool few days and oh, anyway,
yeah,
take it away, procrastination lady.
okay, all right, guys. Today we're gonna talk about procrastination and why and what you procrastinate. So there's a lot of things we can procrastinate. Some things pertain to our health, and we won't be talking about that a whole lot, other than you got to take care of your health. So just do what you got to do to get it done somehow, some way, whether it's the dentist or the doctor, right? Maybe it's part of decision making with your family or whatever, but you still have to do it. And the what is the things. I feel like those are more manageable because there's so much what. There is so much what, and the why is something we have to look into, right? What are the things that you tend to procrastinate, Lisa?
Adulting.
Yeah, adulting's hard. I don't think we're told that when we're younger, or all of us wouldn't have wanted to be adults so soon.
Look, if I have to fill out forms for something or make calls, I hate that stuff.
Do you?
I do.
Huh.
Hey, Jesse Miller.
So I do that all day, every day. So I feel you on that because depends on what it is. I don't and when I'm doing it because I don't like to necessarily get off of work where I'm handling that kind of thing all day long and then have to do more of it. That's a big kicker for me. Um yes, the why ADHD, yeah, is very distracting. Yeah, we distract ourselves. What about everybody else? Anybody else have anything they want to share that is something that they tend to put off? When it comes to chores, I would say floors. I hate cleaning floors, and usually I can get Mountain Grandpa. I am not a floor. Mhm. And sometimes we might procrastinate because of decision fatigue. If it requires I will tell my husband if he's wanting to talk about, I'm like, can we talk about it later? I don't want to think too hard right now. Can we just put it off for another time? And decision fatigue it's a thing. Oh,
Yeah,
Heather, it's got clutter,
her craft room.
craft room, and my craft room, and it still needs work. The bathroom and the toilet, suburban hillbilly. I hear you. It's hard to fit time, the schedule, especially when it changes. Yeah, and yep, and yeah, that's good. Yeah, laundry. I tend to be good about laundry. I mean, the washer and dryer do most of the work for us, so it's
Yeah.
something I can do while I'm working. Since I work remote, I can put something in the washer and Yeah, there's so
Ooh,
many things. Lisa, when you talk about adulting, that's like everything. Like there's so many responsibilities that we have every day. But
yeah, and Kathleen was talking about getting overwhelmed by all the things that need to be done. And I had posted on Instagram a while back, and it was called the 135 rule.
mhm. Hey, Nut.
And it was realizing you can't accomplish an endless number of things each day, except that you can reasonably get one big thing, three
Yep.
medium things, and
Yep.
five small things done.
I love that, Lisa.
But, that's not for everybody either. So,
Yeah. And it's not even for anybody every day. But at least if we could think about it sometimes, right?
yep,
Because we'll start to get a backlog.
yep. Hey, the Nut House.
That's awesome, suburban hillbilly. Oh, I would be happy. So that's a work in progress.
Yep. Blue, I can't stand the dishes either. The dishes are nonstop, and it's like I'm not even cooking, and the dishes are just dishing.
Yep. I told my husband, as a matter of talking about dishes today, I told my husband too, like, we are eating from our freezer meals tonight because I need to feel like I'm caught up on things. Because it's also one thing when you get your dishes washed and then there's still like the deeper cleaning of your kitchen you feel like you need to do. I need to wipe out my fridge. I need to feel like I need to get my fridge emptied and wiped out, that kind of thing. But you got to use the food in there too. So I feel like the best time to do that is when you can get it to a more of an empty state. My son calls it his acorn, one acorn a day, and then a few small chores. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smart.
Oh, an office forevermore. Darn it.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. That's right, the nut house. So, I guess one question to ask when you are consciously putting something off is why does later seem to be a better time? Why later?
I don't think that for me later is a better time. I'm just dreading doing it. The reality of it is though,
Mm-hmm.
is like when you dread doing something, you spend so much time and energy dreading it
Yeah.
when you could have just had it done.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't think we recognize the weight of the things that we put off too. You know it? There's like
Yeah.
there's a weight that you feel when it's done. You feel that weight lifted.
Oh, totally, totally. And I used to use the example that like I took a day off to paint ceilings. I hate painting ceilings. These were 10-foot ceilings in
Oh my
Connecticut.
goodness. Yeah.
And, I remember taking the day off to paint the ceiling. And so, like, I dreaded it. It got worse coming up to the day off. Then the day off came and I procrastinated even more and
Mm-hmm.
dreaded it. P.S. The end of the day, I finally get the
Yeah,
ceiling painted. And it's
you
like,
did? Awesome.
yeah, but it's like I should have just got it done first thing in the morning and would have
Because you
been
were
done.
hating the thought of doing it all day long, right?
Right. And that's a lot of wasted energy.
It is. It is. Good example, Lisa. Oh, yes. Getting things done before harvest.
Absolutely.
Yep. When you feel like it's drudgery.
So true. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I felt about those ceilings. But the reality of it is had I gotten it done,
Mm-hmm.
because it didn't take long, it
Mm-hmm.
was a lot less time doing the drudge
Yeah.
versus all the doom and gloom and dread energy I wasted.
Yeah. So I'm going to share another one. Um, when you're thinking about something that you're putting off for the conscious thoughts, because we all need servants. Yes, we do. Or at least more kids at a later age.
Yeah.
Because then teamwork makes the dream work. Uh-huh. Floors. Yeah. Um, Ask yourself why you're procrastinating this thing.
because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because and you don't want to do it because it might feel like a huge project.
I, I think for me, like sometimes it's for example with the paperwork thing, I had to go to the bank to do something
Mhm.
to have them do a signature thing. And I knew it was going to be an issue. Like
Mhm.
I knew there was going to be, oh, there's this and this.
Yep.
And it's like I finally just turned around and was like, look,
Jesse.
this stuff needs to get done. And it turned out exactly how I thought. That was
Uh-huh.
what made it worse.
Oh no.
It's like, why can't it just be easy? Walk in and just say, hey, just do the signature. Like, you know,
Yeah. So so maybe there's a difference between I feel like the stuff that falls to the wayside during canning season or maybe like sometimes during gardening season, seriously, you're going to have less time. I mean,
yeah,
it takes I need to time it, but it takes a really long time to water the garden. And I know that that's something I think we're going to try to tackle maybe next year. Hey, love the land.
I
Uh,
love the land.
but it takes a lot of time. And like I was saying earlier, is basically we have ended up having dinner really late and we get out there. We've got two different water hoses going and we're each watering different things to try to make it, take less time. But it's cutting right into dinner, which ends up cutting into the dishes being done right after dinner.
Yep.
Hey, Jan, thank you so much for coming.
Hey, Jan. Hey, love the land. And yes, Suburban Hillbilly. I agree.
Hmm. So that stuff that falls to the wayside, could it be? I mean, that's just so. I guess what I want to say is, don't mistake strategic planning for procrastinating because I think they're different things.
They are.
As long as we recognize them for what they are, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hades
Yeah.
garden.
Watering the garden takes forever, and I'm
Mhm.
doing it every day
Yeah.
because we've had like an eighth of an inch of rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you can't even just water. Like when it gets that dry, you get and I think you've spoken to this before, you get the hydrophobic soil. So you
Hmm.
kind of have to get down there with your hands and move it around a little to get the dang water to go in there. Or it's going to find an easy path somewhere where it's just leaking out and not even getting in there.
Yep.
Takes me an hour or two to water the garden. Yeah, that's about where we're at. And I mean, we've had dinner at 9 o'clock at night. Let clutter build up. Yes, I am a clutter queen. Yep, it can take up all your time. Absolutely. I told my husband
Hmm.
I told him that we need to start watering the garden in the mornings, get ourselves shifted around, even if we're setting our alarm to get up a little earlier to do it or to at least start it. Because the heat, it's the hottest time of the day when you're out there at 4 and 5 p.m.
That's why I water in the afternoon. First of all,
I
I'm not a morning person, but I water in the afternoon because that's when everything is dry. It's not dry in the morning because I've watered from the night before and it's cooler because of our climate. Um,
So, Tuck by V and Suburban Hillbilly,
mhm.
this is where I think that old saying, slow and steady wins the race, comes into play because you don't feel like doing much to begin with, and then if you do too much you're going to hurt yourself, and then when you're injured, what do you what kind of position are you going to be in as far as how you feel and getting things done? And when you're hurt and you're injured, getting things done obviously has to come last. You've got to take care of you.
And that's what Blue talks about all the time,
There.
which is real important.
Mm-hmm. Easy meals, crock pot meals, extra leftovers. Yeah, so we have leftovers. I label all of the containers. If you look in the freezer right now, um, there's like beef and noodles. There's, gosh, what else? I've got fried pork chops and mashed potatoes. And I label them all. I've got cabbage and kielbasa sausage, just all kind. I told my husband we need to eat some of these because I'm running out of containers. Plus, I want to get stuff done. Yep. Adenir, we do our watering at nighttime too, and it's really hot, and then it gets buggy. So I'm starting to lean towards trying to do it in the morning.
Hey, KP Heathen. Hey, Christine, Mrs. Gilliam Farms.
That's why I limit myself to 5 minutes and switch tasks.
Yep.
Oh, hey, love the land. Was it you guys that did the video on the 5 minute rule? I talked about that last week and mentioned the channel that I saw it on, and I think it was you guys, but now a whole nother week, and I forgot where I saw it. But
Hey, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Hey,
mm-hmm.
Dee's Garden.
Good to see you, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Hey, Christine, Mrs. Gilliam Farms. Good to see you. KP Heathen, hello. All right, so ask yourself why you're procrastinating this. And when you're asking yourself that question, a couple of tips. Stop the big deal thoughts is like the first one. Could it be sometimes maybe we're making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be?
Most of the time.
Yes. When I was younger, I hated cooking, for example. I hated cooking. I mean, I worked, it's when the kids were young. I'd come home and, you come home from work. Need I say, you got young kids, but we had a business too. So I had to come home and try to work in the office and cook at the same time. Oh, it was just chaos. But I hated cooking and it always felt like it was a big deal. But now that since I've been working from home and I have more time, so that's part of it. Some of the things we don't like, it's because we don't have time for them, I think. And I realize now that there were a lot of things I could have done differently then to make it easier on myself, but I was blocked because I think the big deal thoughts.
Yep.
If you stay focused, it gets done. Yep. Sorting old photos and warming lunch. And I'm glad you're listening to us while you do that, because that can be, I don't know, that if I look at old photos, I'm probably going to end up crying.
Oh, geez. That's a good one. Love the land.
I love this. No excuses, just solutions. Absolutely. And here's another one that results in procrastination is thinking that things need to be perfect. And you got to rope yourself back in from that. You make a big job of it.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing, because people think, well, I'm not trying to make it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are making those lists.
Mm-hmm.
They're making those lists, and the lists are unrealistic
You've
to
heard
be
my
done
Mm-hmm.
in one day. And then
Yeah.
they are like, I can't believe I didn't get this done.
Yeah. Life isn't Pinterest. Oh, Pinterest is like my favorite. Like Pinterest. Those are my two social medias, Pinterest and YouTube. Life is not Pinterest worthy. Fair.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yep. So I've never been diagnosed with that, Christine, but I am totally the same way. I kind of, my dad, he told me that I was like a butterfly when I was growing up, because I'd come over here and work on some stuff, come over here and work on some stuff, come over here and work on some stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Butterfly.
Absolutely. Same here.
Christine, that's what you can call it. Butterfly. The butterfly method of getting things done. As long as you pollinate all those flowers.
Gwen's been canning tomatoes like a mad woman.
She has. She has. Gwen, I was watching your video today with the harvesting of all of those peas, and then you guys put them through this machine, and it spit all the peas out for you. What is that machine called? I would love to have one of those.
Isn't it a pea huller or sheller?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Heather, yep. I think that's part of it, right? Like figuring out what works for us. Because what works for me might not. Oh, she said Christine said they call her a hummingbird.
I
I like that.
like that.
Uh-huh. Because you
Hey, creative redundancy.
fast. Kathleen, I have a list of daily goals and I can usually check off my morning. Yep. I like that. I like I don't always use lists, but sometimes I have to.
I use them, but one of the things, like,
Hey, creative redundancy.
I can tell you right now, like this week has been cold and dreary, and we did nothing yesterday. It zapped the motivation right out of us.
You know, Lisa, sometimes doing nothing is really important.
Well, I think today's going to be another do nothing day.
You need a do nothing day. If you feel like you need, I mean, unless you've had like, weeks of do nothing,
No.
then I think that totally entitled to have do nothing days.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm cold, you know?
Yeah, cold does that to you too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Mhm.
zaps me and paralyzes me.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not cold, cold, but
yeah. Blend ideas for different situations to get things done and keep it fresh. Yep. Oh, she's going to be up your way.
yeah, it depends on where you're going to be, Christine. If you're going
It
to be in
won't be
Rapid,
humid.
Rapid is a lot warmer than we are, but I don't know. Right now we are 52, 54 now, feels like 50. But in Rapid City, we're looking at 62.
Mm, I love those temperatures.
Oh, okay, Eagle Butte.
I
Yeah,
love.
you'd have to look.
Mm-hmm. The to-do list at the beginning of the week. Yes, I like a weekly to-do list. Yeah, that's how I like to do them. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes I'll be like, okay, but tomorrow I'm getting this done. Like my herbal jelly video. Hey Barb, good to see you. I When you see a video from me, chances are that sucker has been completed within the last 6 hours.
Mhm.
I'm not somebody who tends to have videos done even several days ahead of time.
Me neither.
Really
Hey,
have.
Christine, look at the weather for Eagle Butte for next week. It's very cool this week. Next week, starting Saturday, it's 80s, 90s, 80s.
That's nice. So has anybody heard of the 70% rule?
Share it with us.
The 70% rule, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Lisa, because we were talking about this before we started. The 70% rule is when you're looking at how something should be done, keep in mind you should do it within 70% of, if you're going to grade it, I guess, 70% of your ideal. If something's worth doing, at least do it to 70%. Because if you can do something to 70%, you can go back and fix it later. But let that 70% rule prevent you, don't let it help you to get started, knowing if you want it. Okay, like organizing my craft room, for example. I know there's a couple of us with these craft room, and boy, do we get projects stacked up, right? If you could tell yourself, okay, I've got all these projects here, like sitting, I don't know how everybody else does it, but I will put things in a pile of things, projects that I want to get done. So for me, I could take at least 70% of those piles and put them away, and instead make a list of what I'd like to work on, but put away all the parts, because I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get all of the things that I need together to do this project. And then there it is. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm going to do this. So we could do that, right? Like do 70% of it.
Right.
And that makes it so much more manageable. I guess one challenge is like figuring out what is 70%, but Do you know this one, Lisa? Pareto's Law of Time Management?
I think I've heard of it because I had to take stuff like that all the time. I'm just not recalling it.
I don't think I've ever heard it. I'll be looking into that though, Christine.
Oh, hang on. Go
Yes,
back to that.
100% is perfection, 70% good enough. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Hmm.
Oh, 80% of results come from 20% of your efforts. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I'm seeing I googled it and I'm seeing graphics that look familiar to me.
Uh-huh. 80%. Say it one more time, Lisa.
Oh, hang on. 80% of results come from 20% of the effort.
Hold on.
So, like gardening, 80% of the pea pods in the garden were produced by 20%. No, 80% of them were
I
produced by
got it. Is this
20%
it?
of the pea pods. Hey, Ann.
Is that it, Lisa?
Yep, sorry.
Awesome. That's a good one. I like that. 80% of results. Oh, look at there. So if you only have 20% effort to put into something, you potentially could get 80% of your project done. Right?
Yeah.
Some people put stuff off because they are an A+ personality. 70% rule would be motivating. Yep. That's one of the things that happens to me.
Facts.
Hmm.
Truth, Christine.
Yeah. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, Gwen, I saw that machine and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I because I'm growing kidney beans and I'm not sure when they're done, so I got to figure that out. And then I'm going to have to obviously harvest kidney beans. And I've been thinking about that. The more you have,
Yep,
quality
facts,
compliance and
Christine.
patient safety. Oh, very cool.
Totally hear it.
Hmm. Awesome. You
How do
want
you know what personality you are? I know I'm type A.
you know what personality you are.
There's a lot of tests out there.
There
Depends
is
on what you're looking for.
when they are dry on the plant. Okay, thank you, Dee. Hey, my wild hone. Good to see you. Man, you guys are coming a long way. I don't know
Hey
if anybody's
there.
been following them along with their island, but it's really cool stuff.
So cool. Hey,
Mhm.
Jamie.
All right, so the 70% rule. Remember, stop the perfectionism. Just get started. You only need 20% of the effort to get 80% of something done. That's what they say.
Cut the
And
crap, people. Cut the
yep,
crap.
yes. Here's one. Remind yourself of the benefits. Why are you trying to do this thing in the first place? Why is it even on your list? Because I don't know, maybe if you remind yourself of the benefits, your list might get shorter.
That's a good point.
Hey, Ann. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? How long is your list? Why is it so long? What's the real value in all of that? Oh, I think
Exactly.
Christine's saying it right. Hold on. 20% should be done that is critical that will produce 80% of the work. Yep.
Yeah, I'm cutting dry. Cut the crap, people. Just do it. Hey, it wouldn't be me without getting right to the point.
Right? Okay, hold on. There's more. Is anybody is so I want to know in the chat is if this is making anybody think of anything in particular that they know they need to get done, maybe drop a one in the chat. Let's see how many people this is. Do you have something in mind? Lisa, lots of things in mind. Same, same.
Excuse me.
So there is this old list and commit and set a deadline.
Yep.
There is that. And sometimes there's a looming deadline out there that you already have. Maybe it's something you have to do. Do you know what I still haven't done?
Bye, Christine. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Christine. I really loved you being here to share that 80/20 thing, too. Thank you so much. Very cool. I think that you, Lisa, and I have all kind of worked in the same industry of sorts. I still haven't harvested. And you know why? I know why I keep putting this off and finding other things to do because I'm really wanting to cook with it, is the deal. But I feel it's the big deal. It's the, did you see Suburban Hillbilly? We are not alone. We are not alone. You all are not alone. um, so I've been putting off harvesting of the amaranth because of the big deal. It feels like a big deal. I don't know. I've harvested like seeds before and you got to blow stuff off. And I realized by waiting so long, I also made it worse. So watch out with your procrastination because you will make things worse. Because now when I go to try to blow stuff off, like I think all of it might be light. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I still have a Ziploc bag of quinoa that I'm not going to eat, but that I grew
Mm-hmm.
that I never what do they call it? Is it not dehusk, but when you're blowing
The
the stuff?
sorting the chaff from the seed.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
never did that part.
So I was watching an Ark Wildman video this morning, and I forget what was he sorting out? He was using the shaft too. He's like, this is fully edible. I could take my time to sort it off. It's not going to impact the taste. I'm just going to keep the shaft too. And I was like, oh my gosh, the amaranth. I could keep the shaft too. I could even clean it up since I waited so long. And if I just, because an entire amaranth is edible. So the flowers are edible also. And yeah, that's my thing that I need to get done because I need to. And I could either keep the seed to cook with or I could save it to plant with, right? Cannot handle thinking that things need to get done. It drives me nuts. I have a hard time procrastinating because it'll haunt me. Yeah. So then, like, maybe just the taking it off, like, it either needs to get done or it doesn't need to get done, right?
Hmm.
Photos. Oh, gosh. I have a box of those too. Right now, they're not hurting me being at the top of the closet. Quinoa, that's great. You can grow it. You could, Lisa. Hello.
Bitter melons.
Oh, no.
She grew bitter melons, and then she said they're terrible.
Aren't those medicinal though? Like I think they're medicinal. Look up medicinal use of melons, and maybe
They're
it's
poisonous to chickens. That stinks.
like St. John's wort and goats.
Jeez.
OCD kicks in hard. Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. Different. I would imagine such a
Oh yeah.
wonderful pace things must run at there. Amaranth stock used for animal feed. Yes. Amaranth can be edible. I mean, animals can eat amaranth. I don't know about the seeds, but I know they can eat the leaves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bitter melons, Barb, look it up. I'm pretty sure those are medicinal. I've never used them, but yes, getting that 70% done takes a load off your shoulders. Absolutely. Yeah, good for people with diabetes. Yep. But I'm thinking if you don't like how they taste, I think you can make a tincture is kind of like what I'm
Yeah.
or
So
dry them and make a powder and put them in a pill.
medicinal properties such as anti-diabetic, anti-cancer, anti-inflammation, antivirus, and cholesterol lowering effects.
Mm-hmm.
Rich in vitamin C, which is important micronutrient involved in disease prevention, bone formation, wound healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know it's big in TCM. Chinese medicine uses bitter melon oil.
Effective for treatment of ulcers, malaria, pain, inflammation, psoriasis, dyslipidemia, and hypertension.
Hmm. Yeah.
Dry coughs, bronchitis, sore throats. Wow.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah. I've never used it though.
Tincture it.
Tincture it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tincture it, Barb. Maybe look into that.
Yeah. Anybody have something on their I'll get to it when I have time list?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or sometimes it's when you have the money.
Oh gosh. Right, Lisa? So true.
Like it it's like when okay, we're going to wait until we have the money to do this.
Yep. My kitchen table's that way too, Gwen.
Oh, mine too.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome, Barb. Yeah. Look into the tincture.
Power wash and paint the back of my house.
Whoa, that
Wash
sounds
sorting.
expensive.
Jamie finished her weeding.
Go, Jamie. And hello. I just now noticing you're here. Thank you for coming. Also, just slow down for a minute. Homesteader Rachel, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, is there anybody else that we might have missed? Thank you all so much for coming, and for those people who might be here but not in the chat or listening later. So, when I have time might not be the best time. Yep, because
Yep.
no time left. Yep. I think we all
Heather's like, cut the crap. There's no time.
yeah. So, we talked about this before, eliminating
Oh,
distractions. If you're going to work on a project, like project time, yeah, I'm really good at this for work.
mhm.
For my professional life, I'm really good at this. And if I'm working on a video too, I won't do anything else. I won't check my phone. I won't listen to the phone unless the washer is going or dryer by itself. Or I've got, maybe if I'm helping support playlists, I will run it on my TV because I don't feel compelled to comment. But when I'm working on projects, no interruptions. And then I can really, I feel like I could really get that work really pushed out. And yeah, that definitely is helpful for me.
That's awesome, Barb. I think that'll be great.
And then, yes, money not there, projects definitely. Yeah, or you're waiting for that great find that is affordable. That's kind of what we do too. We should be doing this weekend. Yeah. And my countertop's so full. Yes. So don't forget about the chunk it method. Like, putting things in blocks. Yes, go, Lisa.
I was going to say, just look at, while you're talking, put creative redundancies comment up on the screen.
Do a little bit more often when possible. Just
I
like,
believe that speaks to your chunking. Maybe I dropped in a little too
yes.
quick. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right.
So go ahead and explain chunking.
Okay. So I've seen this done, and I've done it a couple of different ways. So one of them is meal planning, when you're talking about meal planning, because you can get your chicken out, get all of your like I told you, next time we harvest meat birds, which it doesn't look like we're going to do this year, we'll probably do that next year. But next time we harvest meat birds, I want to process 4 of them at a time, because I want to put all of the chicken breasts together, all of the legs and thighs together. And I want to be obnoxious about that, because I feel like when you do, that's how I like to buy them when I buy them. Do you know what I mean? If I'm making a meal that has, and then if you have, that's one example. Another one is, if you pull out all of your chicken, I'm going with food here, and you get them all of your meal prepping done, and just make all of your freezer containers full of your marinades for your chicken, and get it up in the freezer, because later you just got to pull it out. And if you make one big batch of marinades, you can have several meals worth up there. And sometimes what I'll often do is I'll pull out more meat than what I know we need, and I'll cook all of it with the intention of making leftovers like our fast food. So that to me is chunking. Can I give some examples too, Lisa?
Well, I chunk a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but speaking to the chicken, like when we do our chickens, there's only two of us. So there's a
Stay
lot of
safe, Ann.
standing around time and waiting, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Making sure the water is um, up at the right temperature. Sometimes it gets too hot, sometimes it gets a little too cool.
Yep.
Waiting for dispatched animals to finish their bleed out process and so on.
Yeah.
So for us, we do not separate or we do not part out our chickens.
Mm-hmm. We didn't
So
last time either.
what we do is we butcher them whole because we feel that's more efficient with the two of us.
Yeah.
But then what we do is we defrost
Because you
the whole
guys,
chicken.
tell
Huh?
everybody how many chickens you guys, the two of you, process in a day.
26.
Yeah. That's chunking.
That was a lot for us because usually we have about 10 more instead of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling Gwen we actually had to buy an extra cooler because we usually do portions of them. Like, okay, we'll do this much
Yep.
and we'll do. So that was a lot for us in one day. But anyway, we
Yeah.
get it done. And so what we do is we do them whole. We defrost them in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we do that is it takes a while to defrost, but once it's defrosted,
Uh-huh.
I take it out. I take the legs and the leg quarters and the wings off,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have that for supper.
Mm-hmm.
The rest goes in the fridge again when I'm done cutting it. The
Yeah.
next day, I now have two chicken breasts that
Yeah.
I can make a casserole out of, make whatever, and I cook that the next day.
Yep.
And for me, that part of chunking works better because
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for me and less time to do that when I'm cooking it
Mm-hmm.
versus when we're doing the chickens.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. That's how I do it too, with what we have. But I sure like having a whole bunch of chicken breasts that I can marinate.
Mhm. Well, but you can
You know what,
well,
though? I could do the same thing with whole chickens because I could just thaw two chickens at a time. And then when I'm marinating, prepping like my chicken thighs and chicken legs and wings for, fried chicken or whatever it is I'm making with it, I can do the same with the others up to the freezer. Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, you just don't want to put it back in the freezer after you defrosted it.
Mm-hmm. True. To make hay, but there's probably a round bale of grass in there right now.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
Okay, couple more. Ooh, and we got to get through these. Um, oh, here's one.
Mhm.
Develop empathy for the future you. This is the same reason a lot of us don't drink a whole lot because we don't want the hangover that goes with it. That
Be
seems to get
kind to
worse when you get
yourself.
older. Be kind to yourself. And if you're putting things off to the last minute, you're going to be suffering later.
Mhm.
And then set yourself up for success.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that means make sure if it's something you really don't want to do or it feels like a huge chore, make sure that you eliminate those distractions because that's not setting yourself up for success. Make
Right.
sure that you do it at the time that's going to be and I'm talking about like if it's an outside summer activity, set your alarm, get up early, make sure you go to bed at a reasonable time the night before. Maybe listen to music while you're doing it. Like set yourself whatever it takes. Make sure you
Yeah.
drink a protein shake, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
love the land. I love spatchcock chicken. It's so good, but
On the
we're
grill.
just trying to do different things and like make different meals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I need to eat more chicken. Yep. Yep, putting off something till I try to plan it, and sometimes it just works out like that.
Yep.
Um, And here's another one. If if you don't already have a deadline in place,
Yep.
like with gardening, you have a deadline. With processing meat birds, you have a deadline. Like they're only going to live so long by themselves. They have to get processed. There's
Yep.
certain deadlines. Holidays result in deadlines if you celebrate them, and
Right.
otherwise, get an accountability buddy. Lisa's my accountability buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, your spouses make a great accountability buddy, but it's always nice to have another accountability buddy because it's not like your spouse really, when it comes
Right.
to making soap or whatever else,
Yeah.
things that he could care less about. Um, yeah, get an accountability buddy. And then,
Absolutely.
how about this?
Oh yeah. Reward yourself. Absolutely.
Hmm. I mean, getting it done is going to feel like a reward, and your shoulders are going to feel lighter. You are going
Oh,
to feel like you just got something off of your shoulders physically. Hey,
so true. Hey Ginger, so true. I mean, get checking off those big things off the list. Oh,
mm-hmm. And then don't forget embracing the 2 minute rule, where if it's something you can get done in 2 minutes, you just do it.
suck it
Um,
up, buttercup.
yes.
Cut the crap and do it.
Yeah. Have a support group or friends to share your positive results. Absolutely. Gwen said, we cook daily, freeze leftover.
Yep.
I love having soup and chili in the freezer to do individual meals frozen. Well, we have the two deep freezes and then a freezer. So I like having the individual meals in the freezer in the kitchen. And then trying the 5 minute method. Does everybody remember what that is? That's what I was talking about that Love the Land did on their video.
Yeah.
You'll have to go check them out if you want to see that. But taking
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes just to get something done.
Nice job, Ginger.
Go Ginger. Awesome. And I
See,
guess,
that's my problem. I'd like to do, all 7 loads, but I can't with a
mhm,
well. So,
yeah, water.
no.
I don't either because now we worry about our leach bed.
Yeah.
It's an old house. I don't want to replace that this year. What it
God,
comes down
no.
to is to just do the dang thing,
Yep.
right? I hope this helped encourage everybody today. Anybody got any projects that they're going to be working on over the next week that they want to share? You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my amaranth dealt with. I'm going to get the seed. I want to say the seeds separated, but I might just leave the shaft. If there's shaft in there, I might leave it. And if it doesn't look like it's cooking worthy, I'm going to plant it. I'm not even going to put off that. I'm going to go try to get it planted because I still haven't
There
found
you
it.
go. I've gotta I gotta get out and cover everything for a frost tonight, so I have to figure that out.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for
Hey
calling.
Joe. Hope you're feeling better, Joe.
Yeah. I hope that this helped to motivate everybody. I'm going to spread the word a little early. Not for nothing, or not for nothing, but Natasha, sorry, Ginger, almost told you something. Natasha over at the Budget Prepper and I are going to be working on an apothecary collaboration in August.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. I want to have it kind of organized a little bit. So if anybody wants to take part in that, shoot me an email and I'll make sure you're on the list. But I don't know, we haven't got a name for it yet, but Apothecary August, something like that. More
Nice.
to come on that. But yeah, reach out to me if you want to be a part of that. And looks like Love the Land need to organize our tiny basement for winter storage. I like the 70% rule with that one. I'm loving this 70% rule. I only got to do 70%. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you all go get this stuff done. Anything you want to share, Lisa?
No, just like I said, we're just getting ready for a frost tonight, which is our big thing because this is not the time we
It's,
need it.
oh my
And
goodness,
then
I do that.
I know I have got to find so much cover to cover.
Hmm.
And then the other thing is Vegiga
Hmm.
agreed to do a giveaway with our subscribers
Oh,
for a raised
awesome.
bed. It'll be a smaller one, but
Awesome.
stay tuned for that. I'm waiting on the rules and all that from them.
Very cool. Those are beautiful, beautiful raised beds.
I love it.
They're
I
very
absolutely,
attractive.
I love it.
Mhm. All right.
See you later, Rebecca. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for coming, everybody. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.